Hello, Warriors, TGIF. Thank God I found ForexAnalytix, NFP. Put on your battle dress. Who's ready? We have a nice crowd to trade this number live. How you doing, Sinatra, Michael, Andrew, James, Gran? Yes, I'll guide you. KGP group, welcome to F.A.C.E. Hi, Ryan, Paul, Kman, Marcus, Tomman. That's a new name. Groundhog's Day. Oh, yeah, that too, Forex gal. All right. So, everyone, dollar weakened a bit yesterday, getting a little bit of upside follow through in euro. Does it have legs to 9.5? Ryan.
Ooh, good question. Yeah, on a big number, a big miss. Yeah, it can go 110 if it's a negative number.
Okay.
It's the usual. But we don't need to trade it live. I've told everyone what the number's going to be. It's going to be 10K.
Okay. All right. So, is this a bottom?
You do like asking those questions, don't you, Dale?
Well, there's a reversal week to the upside.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's going to be a bottom just yet,
Okay.
because the trend has been pretty strong this year. For the month of January so far, it's been going down, going down, going down, going down.
Yeah.
If we get another test down there and it maybe holds around 108 from here, then I'd say maybe we're starting to build a bottom.
Okay. Cable, everyone knows if you've been watching EG, it's been really the most stubborn while the dollar's been rallying. Really hasn't affected cable. Part of me thinks that they want to take out the highs here. Some kind of short squeeze over 28, head to 29 or so. We'll see. It's a tough call before the number, but if it can't go down, maybe it just needs to take out all the stops, take out these. I don't think we've quite done it. They got people who put stops here.
Yeah.
False breakout. It looked like it was breaking out, then support. Anyway,
it's a good range. You've got to be. You can't be complacent with the range. It's not going to last forever, and when it goes, the longer it stays in that range, when it does go, the more chance it's going to be quite volatile.
Yeah. So, looks like it may, just want to go for these highs. You think there's at least one buy stop over 128.27. Probably the stops are at 128.27.4. Just 1 millionth of a pip
It's
away
where
from
we
that high.
will all have our stops. That's where the stops will be, where we've all got our stops, and then it'll.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's where they're at. So, are they going to gun for it? A weak number and they got it, right?
Yeah.
How about Aussie? Aussie got hammered yesterday and has really bounced back pretty good. With
I
risk,
thought
maybe.
This one was in trouble with that breakdown. I had a zone 25 to 40, and I bought it at both those levels. And I went out yesterday thinking, I might get stopped out by the time I get off the train. And then I came back on the train and it's sailing up near 66 again. It's like, very surprising turnaround.
Before I forget, just want to show that some of the miners came to life. This one, which has been grinding lower forever, it's only one day, but it's the first day. So there's a little heartbeat in the miners here.
So you're saying it took the S&P to get nearly to 5,000 for that one miner to go up?
Yeah, very good relative strength, huh, Blake?
Very good, very good.
Maybe S&Ps go to 6,000, and that miner might rally another nickel.
There you go.
I know what you're saying, and it makes me, and it makes me ask myself that, it's great to, why am I, looking to buy the weakness when there have been so many rocket ships,
Yeah. Well,
right?
yeah,
You
there
know,
have been. I mean, did you see all the earnings yesterday? I mean,
well, of
shoot.
course, Apple, Apple's the exception. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
well, it is. I mean, it's on the
It
verge of
is,
breaking down.
but you got all the others, and just
All right.
distribution,
But
you
I'll
know.
just say this, AMD's not making a new high like the S&Ps are, and it led the way. All right, NVIDIA, you have a three drive, little 1, 2, 3 up here, but this could go to 700, I admit it. Amazon had great earnings, but it's going to diverge like crazy. And Microsoft, after that key reversal, the key reversal stands. Now, you know, there, I think it was Jim that actually had that 48.90 or 49.90 or 80 number, and we're we're 10 minutes away on a weak number. And then
Yeah,
the
but
last thing,
yeah, I mean, hey, we'll see. We'll see how the market. I'm sorry, I'm kind of jumping ahead here, and
that's
I
okay.
know we're going to hear from the other guys. This is one of those, and I said this yesterday to our traders, and I'll say it right now again. The non-farm payroll, good number. You could argue is great data. We're not, this is a soft landing stuff. The market's going to like it. Bad data, you could argue, oh, well, the Fed definitely will be cutting soon. I'm going to buy stocks. So it doesn't matter what the data is today. You can argue that stocks are going higher. The bottom line is we're in breakout territory, and the S&P came very close to its breakout point yesterday and reversed like a bat out of hell. So there's really at this stage, if you're trying to argue a reversal in the market, you just have to see it, and then after the fact, if stocks actually do reverse, you will hear people will say, well, the data was so strong that now everybody thinks that we're not going to get a rate cut for the remainder of the year. Or if stocks came down on a weak data, people would say, well, it's maybe the labor market's finally weakening, and that means a recession might be coming. So, you can't know that ahead of time, because you can argue both arguments in either direction. So this is a real,
All right,
this one is going to be a very questionable. How does the
yeah.
stock market react here? So,
All right, well, yeah, there's lots of divergences up there. So anyway, this is a big day for TLT. Is this just a retrace for a B wave after the high from over 100 to 93? We traded just a shade above 61.8 here. And if we, do get a strong number, or it's a buy the rumor, sell the fact, we could have something like this from here, right? It's possible. Or yeah, and you got to be open to, we could just blow off to the upside. These have been a little weaker than the 10-year. The 10 years, came much closer to approaching its lows, while TLT is still, you could call it a fib retrace.
those
So,
are really pretty flag patterns, Dale, aren't they?
in what, TLT?
But anyway, I mean, I have it in the 10-year. I've been looking at, I blogged about it on Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, I mean, the flag patterns are perfect. I mean,
Yeah,
that is a perfect flag on TLT. Bullish
bull
flag.
flag.
Bull
Okay.
flag. Yep.
All right. So why don't you take over and tell us how
Yeah,
everything's
well,
been going?
I can do this. I mean, here's that flag pattern, right? Whether you're looking at yields, whether you're looking at the 10-year.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
these are perfect flag patterns, and you can see like the 10-year, what a pivot off the 200 DMA. So this suggests that we're going to get a continued, dollar weakness, bond market strength. And remember, this is the conversation we were having yesterday. And Kman, let's bring Kman in. Kman, remember yesterday when we first came on, Ryan had left us for dead and alone in a corner. Just kidding. Just joking, right? But remember when we came on yesterday morning, Kman, post FOMC, and I said, here's the problem. You got the dollar that was stronger yesterday. You had bonds that were stronger, which means that yields were going down. And that made me really like very concerned about the dollar yesterday morning. And what won? Well, the bond market continued higher, yields went down, and the dollar, got rocked yesterday. So, and it looks like we're going to get a continuation, especially if we get a breakout in the 10-year here. Weaker data. That's why this is what the argument would say: weaker data, bonds go up, yields go down, dollar gets rocked, stocks continue just to blast higher, and people go, see, yields are going to continue to go down. Fed's going to cut rates, market should go higher, stocks should go higher. But anyway, that was the conversation we had
Buy
yesterday.
the world,
So
man.
what's that? Buy the world.
Buy-
Yeah, just buy
buy the
everything.
world.
Yeah, get those 5K S&P caps out, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's it, right? I mean, the S&P is still rocking and rolling. But anyway, you remember that conversation we had yesterday, right? Kay, it's like here it is, there it is. So
I thought you were constructive the dollar yesterday, Blake.
I was, and look, the dollar
Well,
is
now it
still,
sounds like you're not.
well, it slipped down to support. So this is
Okay.
where the rubber meets the road, right?
Yeah,
You
102.30,
either
102.
Yeah, you either trade down to 101 or you trade back up to 104, and
Why
it's
can't
all
we
going
go
to
to
be about the jobs
102
report
and then
today.
make another move? There maybe most of the move in yields might be over going into next month. So I mean, it is possible 102 would be a fib retracement. I know you're looking at the head and shoulders, and it would be a breakdown to you.
Yeah,
we
it
could
would be
pull
a
back.
nullification of this pattern that you see here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we could still put in a higher low and make one more run before we take out 101.
It's possible. It's definitely possible.
That's what I'm looking for.
But Kman, going back to our conversation here, how are you seeing jobs today? Because look, everybody's been betting against the jobs market for forever and a day,
Yeah.
and today, looking at the data, there's three main points to the data. With we're going to have the headline number. We got average hourly earnings, which everybody's going to be looking at, and also the unemployment rate. So, what are you thinking going into today's NFP?
I'm very open-minded on the numbers, but I've got a few scenarios for the dollar and for risk. Of course, if it's a really, really bad number, the dollar should get hammered, whatever happens to the equity markets, because then we are going to get those calls again that finally we are turning the corner on unemployment. Then if we get an as expected or just a very mild miss, I would say it's still going to be good for risk. Bond market, perhaps, sideways. We may see a little bit, if it's slightly better, we may see a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction higher in the dollar. But after yesterday's move, I would say that there are people who missed this move and who may be waiting just to sell dollar rallies, whatever happens. It's going to take a monster number to turn it around, I think. I've got those. I was saying in the room, I've got those kind of November vibes. Of course, we are very far away on yields. But after that move yesterday, that it feels to me that. But I mean, choose your dollar wisely. Yeah? I'm not talking about if it's a decent number. I'm not going to sell dollar yen, for instance. But I think stuff like cable also could continue to do well. And if it's a really bad number, then you would probably look at stuff like dollar yen, dollar Swiss, and things. But yeah,
Where are you going to
today
buy
I'm.
USD CAD?
No opinion at all. Zero.
Okay.
I mean, I'd rather trade something like Euro CAD or CAD yen on risk than trading dollar CAD on the US number just because of the proximity. I don't know on the dollar CAD. I really don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, dollar CAD's at the 50% retracement. This would be, it's interesting, Dale. You look at like, these flags and these setups. I mean, the dollar index is at support almost across the board. I mean, because you look at the euro's at, 50 DMA, channel resistance in this head and shoulder pattern. Cable right at resistance. I mean, if it breaks out, it's breaking out. Dollar's going to get slammed. Aussie, held the 618 retracement. We've been discussing that like for the last few weeks. On a break of new lows, we would hit the 618. You have to just look left and you see it. But look, we're threatening an upside breakout. If the dollar goes down today, and the dollar, you go back to the dollar index, and if it breaks this neckline of the head and shoulder pattern, it nullifies the pattern and it really breaks down the dollar. So, I mean, the dollar could really get punished across the board. And then on top of that, I guess you can even look at the dollar yen, which has been, holding up very well, but, we would nullify this flag pattern as well on a break below the 50 DMA. So you can see how the dollar is just, it's walking a very fine line today. And Kman, I think you said it succinctly. There's a lot of people that would be waiting to sell dollars, and maybe there's a lot of people waiting to sell dollars. Just, you give them a weak number and they're going to press. You're going to probably see some sellers really step in.
Yeah,
So.
I sold them yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I might get run over, but I took partials before it, and I'm looking for 102.30. So.
Well, Stelios is not
calls.
here because he must be somewhere where he cannot be live mic'd because his daughter is not feeling well. But he just jumped in our chat rooms here and said he's hearing a whisper number of 209,000. So that would be inside of the ForexAnalytix chat room. He just jumped in there. So we'll see. We'll see. Ryan, what's your take on the jobs report ahead of the NFP?
As I said, it's going to be 10K. You can take that to the bank. And,
10K.
10K. You won't see me on Monday if it's not, though. It's
and just by the way, if you guys want to say your piece regarding Ryan's 5K, Ryan, or 10K, 10. Ryan, you should put the link in our chat room or in the chat box here on our call for people that guess the number so they could try to win a free month of ForexAnalytix. We give away 3 free months. So, and that's good for people that are part of our community. And if you're not in our community, if you're in our community already, we just tack on an extra 30 days of your community. So, throw that in there, Ryan. But it's 10K, 10K.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a punt, obviously. Picking the NFP number is a punt. It can be a funny number. We may have some weather influence in this one. It's possible because all those winter storms that hit late last month. So maybe there's an effect in there. It's seasonal. It's the end of the Christmas period and everything, the holiday period. So it can get a little bit funky, but it's a punt. But at the end of the day, I think that the biggest number to watch is the wages number, because that surprised to the upside last month. It's sticking around 4%. Wages is a big feature for central banks at the moment. We've had Powell going on about the ECI, Employment Cost Index. We had the labour index yesterday, labour cost index yesterday as well. But these wages, they're sticky around this 4% mark. And if they stay there or go higher, it's going to put a little bit of hawkish pressure on the Fed. But otherwise, trading it, listen, we've come through FOMC after FOMC, NFP after NFP, ISMs, all the rest of it. And still a lot of pairs are still stuck in ranges. So whatever the number is, if it's not a game changer, look at your range edges. If it's dollar strength, look for that to get spanked, because that's what's been happening recently. And on the other side, if it's weak, then maybe a bit more reaction. But if it can't break any of the levels, you know what to do.
Yeah, and so what is your best setup? And I'm going to tell you mine. And I'm sure you guys, Ryan and Kman and Dale, you're probably going to jump in here and probably agree on a weak number. You have to buy cable, right? I mean, look at this thing. I mean, we've been in this range since the end of December, and we break 128, and I would just assume there's stops galore right through here. So I mean, that's on a week number. That's like my number one pick for me. What would you do on week data? Let's start with you, Kman. What are you thinking?
Well, that's what I said earlier. I think on a
Oh,
week
you did?
on a week number, cable flies through.
Okay.
That's what I think. And then euro dollar probably following the mood, but then it depends on how weak everything is. I think on a very bad number, you have to look at dollar Swiss as well, dollar yen as well. We probably break $146 yen, break that 85, 30, 50 perhaps in dollar Swiss as well. On a
Yeah,
very
I got
big
that
one.
50 DMA and 200 DMA just below that. All right, Ryan,
But I
on week data, what would you do?
I'm fairly one-sided at the moment. If it's
Wait.
data,
Okay, so when we get 10,000 jobs created, what are you going to do?
Take profit.
if you get 10,000, I'm going to take more profit on my Aussie dollar, which will be ramping higher finally through this 66 level. But
Yeah.
I think if it's strong data, you sell the dollar rally. I think either which way it goes, the dollar, whether it rallies or whether the number's weak and it sells off more, is going to get sold one way or another. So I'm one-sided today.
So if you're looking at like the euro, for example, and this is
Yeah.
this is probably a pretty good representation of this. You got this 4-hour, nice little descending channel here. If you get some weak data, you're going to get something that looks, or excuse me, some strong data. You're going to get something that looks like this in the euro,
Yeah.
and then you try to be a buyer down at 108, something like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the same cable is probably again the better choice because it's probably going to have more snapback than perhaps a euro dollar. So if you get something maybe mid 126s, even down to the 126.20, something like that, I'd be a buyer back down there as well.
Okay. And Dale, what are you thinking here?
Well, I've talked.
And your
about
microphone's away from your mouth, I think.
I talked about the currencies, but the most important event, if you could pull up the KRE chart, it's the regional banks, okay, and put it on a weekly. So we had Thomas Malin in here, I think Tuesday, and that emergency facility they put in March for SVB, it was all of a sudden there was more borrowing coming in because that bank in New York was under stress. There's other regionals still under stress. And when you consider the money centers have done a lot better than the regionals, but if you consider how much stock strength there's been since March, that all this could do is recover back to a major breakdown and then put in a week like this, then the banking, whatever you want to call it, closure after closure, consolidation isn't over. So, that's a bearish chart to me, bro.
So what's gonna pull the KRE lower, would you think?
Just more continued capital flight, and they're under duress because of people are still, leaving banks and going to different money market accounts, and they don't have the deposits.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, yeah. So I mean, and we had a guest before this happened at MT Melanin who showed the exact chart that there was a burst of borrowing. It's been kind of flat for a while. That started a few weeks ago, and it's still in an uptrend, and it's an emergency facility, right? Emergency. So if it wasn't, why haven't they closed it down if the emergency was over? And
well,
people
Dale,
are
that
still
gives me
borrowing.
every reason in the world to buy stocks at all-time highs. Why wouldn't I?
Well, just short regionals.
Just kidding. All right. So, one thing we should also go over. So we have the S&P, speaking of which, at all-time highs. I think channel resistance comes in just ahead of 5,000. So, if we're going up there, if we're going up there today, we're going to challenge 5,000. We're going to be brushing up against it. There's going to be a lot of, a lot of you got the E-mini futures that are right at the 161% extension. You're gonna probably trade back up there on the ESs, and why not, push all the stops right around the 5K level. But let's, not forget this. These are some pretty strong weekly candles that you see here in the S&P, regardless of what's happening in the KRE. One of the other things that everybody should be looking at today, in my opinion, would be gold. Gold should confirm what you're doing, especially if you're trading currencies, right? If you're trading the currency market, strong data, you're going to see gold slump right back to 2020, maybe even the big 2K level. Weak data, and you get the dollar under pressure, you get yield slipping, bonds rallying. Gold might actually take out this 2070 again, which don't forget 2070 is like the ultimate. You can go back in a daily chart. It's the ultimate triple top right here. So we're going to be trying to rally past that today on some weak data. So just keep in mind, I think gold would be it's going to be a great confirmation tool to be trading. Silver still looks like a dog. Silver just really is underperforming, but I think your eyes should be looking at gold. And one of the other things too, so we got this ceasefire. What do you make of this ceasefire, Dale? Real quick, just I mean, look at crude. Crude is breaking down.
Crude, I talked about it. It may have been at 79 for the move to 62 now. So it looks ugly.
38% retracement, pretty shallow. How many people have bought crude, defensively over the last month and a half? And
Katie doesn't like it.
Yeah, I think that crude looks bearish. Crude looks like we're going to break. And I made that argument, a month or a few weeks ago I did an event with like Ashraf Lottie and Boris and all those guys. And I'm like, people are very bullish crude, but I was looking for a break below, somewhere down here.
Amira is saying that he's in Israel. He's saying no ceasefire. There will be no ceasefire. He's in Israel.
Yeah. I mean, Amira's boots on the ground. So
yeah, we have spies everywhere.
We do.
ForexAnalytix.
Everywhere. So, hey, let's get ready for the data. I'm going to go ahead and get everything ready. Actually, I think I have, I'm thinking about
what was your guess, by the way, Blake?
Well, I think it was 180, 185, something like that. No, 150.
Sit on the fence, why don't you?
I'm a status quo NFP guy. I don't think we're going to be too far away from the numbers. And I'm very non-committal at this point. And if you can, you look at the dollar, and I think the dollar is a great representation of how I feel right now. It's
looking
like
for
it could go either way.
50.
What's that?
50. Looking for minus 50.
Minus 50. Damn,
I'm front running Ryan.
Doomsday Dale's coming to town.
I'm front running Ryan.
Bunker Dale's back.
I know, and between you and Ryan, man, you guys, I'm gonna start drinking heavily, like after I'm done here, and it's only 6 in the morning. Kman, what are you thinking? Any last minute thoughts before we see this data?
Average number.
Average number. I'm with you.
As well.
I'm strongly neutral today's number.
But you know what? Hey, here's the thing. We got what, a minute and a half before the data comes out. Yep, a minute and a half before the data comes out. I may be non-committal right now, but catch me in about 90 seconds, and I'm probably gonna have a hell of an opinion. So, that's what we don't have an interview today, right, Dale? You do not have an interview.
Correct.
Great. So that means we're going to stick around for a little bit. We're going to see the reaction following the jobs data and kind of get our bearings straight, and maybe we'll get another trend day like we had yesterday. Yesterday was just a grind higher and risk all day long. So let's here it comes. And here we are. We are less than 50
comes
seconds
the rain to Arizona.
What's that?
Rain's on the way too to Arizona.
Dude, it hit hard last night. It woke me up actually. Yeah,
Good.
It just drizzled out, but yeah, it was a big one. Ryan, any thoughts? Nope.
All
right, guys. Here we go. We got 30 seconds. Dale, we could talk about the weather, and it rained here in the desert. It should be snowing up in the mountains, and everybody's going to be skiing this weekend in Powder, about 2 hours north of where I live. Yes, I live in the desert. Yes, we snow ski here. So just like 2 hours away.
Here we
I
go.
don't get that. Here we go. Few seconds. Watch the reaction, guys.
Whoa, 350.
Whoa,
Whoa, holy Moses. All right. Well, are you
3.7%.
gonna sell into that, Ryan?
Private non-farm
Wages.
payrolls. Yeah, there have
Wages,
been some
435.
recalculations. Average earnings. Wow.
Yeah, big wages.
Well, we're getting a reaction. So the euro is breaking below 108.40. We should be, wow, that's some big numbers, guys. Look at yields ripping. Now, here's the thing. Stocks are coming down. Stocks are realizing this is pretty strong data here.
So TLT it stopped. The verdict's in. That could be a C wave in TLT. Yields are headed up. So that was a failing rally in TLT. That's the way it looks.
Okay, I'm going to go to that here in a second. What I'm
It's
doing here is I shorted some euro at 108.43 is the fill I got. I'm going to see if I'm going to stick around in it. We got, us obviously slipping back into the channel, as you can see here. Well, let's see if Ryan is Ryan.
They
you
doing
think
the
you're going to
gold,
have people are going to step in. They're stepping in right now. Or is that you?
I told you it was going to be 353,000.
Ryan, is this you stepping in right now? Selling
Not yet.
dollars. This is
Not
it.
yet. I'm going to keep an eye. I'm going to keep an eye out. Cable
This
hasn't
is
done
it?
much.
Do we get a hello reversal right here at these levels?
Let's see what the propeller heads say, because there was a load of we flagged it on the flow show and in the chat room. There's a load of revision crap going through as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
gold is
last month
confirming it so far, Blake.
last month got revised up from 216 to 333 as well. So some big revisions there as well. But let's see.
Don't you guys know it's an election year? Of course, our numbers are going to be good. We're going to be creating jobs all over the place. Fake jobs, fake data. It's the political cycle, folks. It is what happens.
Like China, fixing the data.
Yeah. We are becoming the new China. As China is trying to be more legitimate, we are becoming less legitimate, which is sad to say the least. So anyway, really strong data here. Revisions. Look at these revisions. I mean, you can't argue that that's some pretty good data. I mean, we have to trade off what we see.
Those payrolls for the year were revised higher by an average of 27,000 per month in the second half of 2023. So it's all the year-end revisions were coming as well for 2023. So yeah, revisions across last year as well, higher.
I mean, okay, Ryan and Kman. I don't know if Kman's still here. I know he jumps in he's trading his
I'm here.
off. Hey, but look at the average hourly earnings. I mean, tell me that is not a problem for the Fed chair. I mean, it is,
that's
right?
That's why he didn't ease. Maybe he knew this. That's why he talked we're not looking at March either.
Yeah, I mean, it's
these numbers.
I bought a bit of risk on the back of it. I bought some euro yen. I don't know if that's a good idea, but let's see.
You bought some euro yen?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's take a real quick look and see what you're seeing, Kman. Well, hey,
should we go for risk in the end?
Yeah, I mean, look, if stocks bounce and people go, that was great data, we should be buying stocks. I mean,
if you own Apple and it closes under 180, it's opening there. Get out of the way.
Okay. By the way, I'm closing my euro right now for a quick 20. I just closed it for a quick 20. I mean, I got to take some profits when I get it, because I took a little bit of a loss ahead of the data because I took some off. So I just basically, gave myself a little bit of a wash there on those open positions that I had.
Very nimble for a 50-year-old.
Hey, I'm almost 52 this year. So thank you. I can
Yeah,
I can
you're very
dance.
nimble
I can
still.
dance. I can still dance. Hey, one of the other things I want you guys to keep an eye on the dollar Mexican peso, really strong hold of the 1705 level.
That was
If
the level we talked about early in the week.
yeah,
17.
it is really just really key support here.
Yeah.
And
Wrong under 1680.
yeah, and look, if markets kind of take this data and they don't agree with Kman here, and they say, well, you know, this is pretty weak, you know, pretty weak stuff. If that it's stuff that should, you know, have markets reverse a little, then the dollar Mexican peso might catch a bid.
Yeah,
You know,
and
I'm not saying that
another
risk should sell off now, because this is really strong data. I mean,
yeah,
it
very
really
strong.
is.
And another one is dollar rand. Dollar rand is holding where it should in the 50s.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess we're in the middle of this damn triangle. So, you know, why not flip flop a lot inside of the middle of the apex of a triangle? Because that's what triangles do.
Yeah,
They
maybe
get
we're
people
going
in
right
and
to
out all over the
105.
place. Wow. Look at
105
the
in
euro
Dixie.
still bleeding.
105 Dixie, maybe that's a long talked about area. Maybe we're going
Dale,
there.
your microphone is off your it's up a little bit. So, but yeah, look at that dollar index right back up into the channel. And Ryan, ranges galore, right?
Rangers go on, keep an eye with that euro dollar into 108. Let's see if it gets there and has a little hold again. I'm not convinced. Yeah, we've had big numbers like this before. The wages are a problem, though, as I mentioned before. They're going up and up and up. So that is a problem. That puts us more towards hike territory than staying on hold.
Yeah.
Get above 5%, and it's going to be problems for the Fed. But
So
yeah,
where are we? Oh, go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
no,
Go
I'm saying
ahead.
I'll stick to the plan. Let's see what the dollar wants to do. Every data point recently, last couple of weeks, it has a rally and gets hammered. I'm
Yeah.
looking at yield. Tens aren't doing anything much. They're up a bit, but if we can't get back above 4%, then maybe the air comes out the tires again.
Sounds good. Any last minute thoughts, Kman? I'm just updating the trades room with some things that I've just done. So
No, nothing more. Yeah, but no, nothing more. It's a very good number, and I hope the dollar continues, because I'm still long calls dollars. So let them go higher so I can hedge a bit.
yeah. I'm sorry, I was just in the middle of typing there. Yeah, and look, the dollar is in its range, very much in its range. But will this be enough to break the dollar out? And will this be enough to break the back of the stock market bulls? I personally don't think so.
No,
I
I
think
don't
that
think so.
I don't think so either. I think risk is going to get bought today. So you're seeing some profit taken because people are going, oh, you know, the Fed, this, that, the other thing. I agree with Kman here. I might actually turn around and buy this euro yen, because why would you sell stocks at all-time highs when we are creating jobs like crazy, right? I mean, that's the argument. What do you say, Dale, before we go?
This was a very important day for yields, and that was a failing rally in TLT. And now we're going to take out the lows of the A wave for a C, and then yields will come down. But they're going back up.
And Dale, your microphone again is away from your mouth. But
Wow.
yeah, we could be setting up a double top here, right? In the bond market, you could see the 10-year
With the
creating a
lower
double bottom.
Put out, yeah. So yeah, it's a big day for yields. You might be right about
okay. And
equities.
if it's a big day for yields, and yields continue to rally here,
105 Dixie.
yeah, well, that's well, there it is.
Keep an eye on gold as well, because gold's been up a bit on the potential risk
1950.
stuff in the Middle East, and that could get a little bought up into the close today.
You know,
So
good point. And point well taken. Middle East fears gold rally. Dollar's gonna go to hell in a handbasket, because everybody's like, the deficit, we're deficit spending, blah blah blah. There's no other alternative. You just need to buy gold. No Middle East. Dollar's catching a bid. You got crude oil, slumping. Why can't gold, trade below 2000 now? And
Yeah,
Dale's
DXY
1950, right?
Yeah, DSI 78, Blake. So it's going to take price and time to bleed that off to get back under 50. So
Yeah, let's
we need to
double
clean out 2000 at least.
Yeah, let's see what that DSI is. I posted it last night here somewhere in the chat room. Oh, here it is.
78.
Yeah, DSI for gold was where is it? The 77. 77.
Okay.
So yeah,
All
I mean
right. Yeah.
it's still pretty well up there. But I don't know. I'm with you, Ryan, or Ryan Kman. I'm sorry, I'm with you. I just picked up some Euro yen. Just FYI, I bought some with you, so I'm jumping on the heels of Kman. Kman's a good. I mean, you spend enough time in Japan, you become a great yen trader,
Whoa,
right?
whoa, whoa,
Right,
whoa,
Kay?
whoa, whoa, whoa. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean
Come on, it sounds
everything.
good though.
You
Come
know
on, it
what?
sounds good.
No, you know what, Blake? I mean, if it breaks above 160 from
Yeah.
here, I guess we have room for perhaps another 50 to 80 points or so, and then we reassess.
Yeah, why not? I'm with you, man. I jumped on the bandwagon with you, my friend. So thank you for the idea.
Vultures, you lot. You're always jumping on bandwagons, you lot. Vultures.
Hey, you know what? I didn't jump on your 10,000K bandwagon,
I
Ryan.
usually front you, Ryan.
Exactly. Terrible, these lot. I tell you, if you come to the chat room, you got to be prepared for everyone being front run and jumping all over you and trading.
That's right. And
Terrible.
whatever I
Terrible.
say that I'm gonna do in the chat room, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna put in some bids overnight here. Just remember, I'm about 5 ticks over what I say. I'm just kidding. Joking. Hey, what is this? And why do we have this in our chat room? I don't know. Thank you, Amir, for pointing that out. Hey, I just want to say, guys, if you want to be where we're all like hanging out and talking and posting charts and ideas, we're in the ForexAnalytix chat room. You got several chat rooms in here that you can be part of. Make sure you take advantage of it. And with that being said, I want to say, guys, thanks for a great week. Dale, thanks for guiding us this week. And Ryan, thanks for ditching us yesterday. And Kman, your guidance all week has been awesome. Ryan, I'm just kidding. It's so nice to have you back here today. And Dale, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Hey, Ryan, Kman, great hanging out with you guys, batting the
And
ball
you, mate.
around for another week. Good job of trying to keep people from stepping on landmines. So everyone do what we say, not what we do.
Thank you for shepherding us, Dale, through the week.
Yeah, it was a wild week. It was fun, right?
Yeah, we're the sheep running around. You're the shepherd who guides us all.
Damn straight.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
And stop hitting me with that damn staff that you have, Dale.
You know, the shepherds in ancient times, if they had a stray lamb, they would break the leg of the lamb and carry it on their shoulder. And then the lamb learned to depend on the shepherd and didn't stray anymore. And that's something. That's where you see that picture with the shepherd and the sheep over, while he's carrying it over his shoulder. So well, anyway, I've had a few legs.
Thankfully, we got wise to animal cruelty, eh?
Yeah. Anyway, I've had a few legs broken. So everyone have a great.
Bash a few sheep this weekend.
I have to live without football for the first weekend, so you know it's usually a pretty big adjustment for me. I'll be in the rubber room.
Hey, you know what? You got. Why don't you just watch? Why don't you just watch real football and watch the Hammers? Right.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Ryan.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much, guys. Nice to see you.
All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings, and join us, become part of what we are. And we'll see everyone Monday. Okay. I'll see everyone. Thanks, team.
Thanks, coach.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys.